Imagine waking up one day to discover you're suddenly in charge of all your family's finances, with no idea where to even begin. For millions of Americans, this isn't just a distant worry, it's a reality that could happen with the turn of fate. Today's story asks a question that's more common and urgent than you might think. How do you teach a financially inexperienced spouse to manage family money, especially when the stakes are high and time is running short? Let's break it down. Our listener is 67 years old, his wife is 48, and they have a 12-year-old daughter. He saved up $1.1 million in a traditional IRA and has another $250,000 in cash. That's a solid nest egg by almost any standard. But there's a problem. His wife is financially illiterate, and he's worried about what will happen when he's no longer there to manage the family's money. This is a scenario that resonates with many households. According to a 2023 survey by the National Endowment for Financial Education, nearly 40% of adults admit they'd have difficulty managing day-to-day finances if their spouse suddenly weren't there to help. It's a tough spot, one that combines the emotion of family, the anxiety of aging, and the practical need to protect your loved one's futures. So what's really at stake here? Let's look at the numbers. With $1.1 million in a traditional IRA, there will be required minimum distributions, or RMDs, that kick in at age 73 under current IRS rules. That means our listener will be forced to withdraw a certain amount each year, which will be taxed as ordinary income. Add in the $250,000 in cash, and there's a lot to manage, from making investment decisions to planning for taxes and ensuring the money lasts, especially with a young daughter in the mix. The first thing to recognize is that financial literacy isn't something you pick up overnight. It's a skill, like learning a language or musical instrument. Many people, especially younger spouses or those who haven't managed money before, feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of decisions and the fear of making a mistake. But the good news is, even small steps can have a huge impact. So how do you start teaching a loved one about money when the clock is ticking? For one, transparency is key. Many couples, especially in older generations, divide financial responsibilities, with one partner handling most of the investing, bill paying, and planning. That's fine, until something unexpected happens. The first practical step is to sit down together and walk through every account, bill, and investment. Don't just list the numbers. Explain how each piece fits into the bigger picture. Show where the money is, what it's invested in, and what the long-term goals are. Next, create a simple financial roadmap. Think of it like a GPS for your family's money. This can be as basic as a one-page summary. Here's what we own, here's what we owe, here's how our money's invested, and here's who to call if you have questions. List key contacts, like your financial advisor, accountant, and attorney. This isn't just about information, it's about building confidence and independence. Now let's talk about education. There are more resources than ever before. Online courses, YouTube channels, even community college classes. But sometimes the best teacher is real life. Walk through the process of paying bills, checking account balances, and reviewing investment statements together. Ask your spouse to take the wheel once in a while, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Mistakes will happen, but they're part of the learning process. There's also a big emotional component. Many people, especially women, have been told, directly or indirectly, that money isn't their territory. That's changing, but old habits die hard. Patience, encouragement, and reassurance go a long way. If your spouse is nervous, remind her that you're a team, and there's no shame in asking questions or making mistakes. But what about the future? There are practical tools to make transitions easier. Setting up a joint power of attorney, for instance, ensures that your spouse can access accounts and make decisions if you're ever incapacitated. Creating a will and updating beneficiary designations are also crucial steps. And don't forget about Social Security. With a large age gap, your wife may be eligible for survivor benefits, which could become an important income stream down the road. Let's not overlook the daughter in this scenario. At 12, she's at a perfect age to start learning the basics of money management too. Including her in age-appropriate conversations about saving, spending, and investing can plant seeds that will pay dividends later in life. Looking at the bigger picture, what are the risks if financial literacy isn't addressed? Well, studies show that widows often see their household wealth drop by as much as 50% within the first 2 years after losing a spouse. That's not just due to market losses, but also poor decision-making, higher fees, and even financial scams targeting vulnerable individuals. Proactive planning and education now can prevent heartbreak and hardship later. And here's a final thought. No one gets to choose how much time they have left, but everyone can choose to prepare. Whether you're the money manager in your family or the one who's never balanced the checkbook, it's never too late or too early to start learning. Financial literacy is a gift you give your loved ones, and it's one that keeps giving long after you're gone. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, drop your thoughts or questions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more simple, real-world financial advice. Here's something to ponder. What steps can you take today to make sure your family would be okay tomorrow? No matter what life throws your way,